Lenny Loud was busy making a dress in her and Lori's room. She was just finishing up stitching of the dress when Luann walked in the room. Although Lori wasn't there in the room since she was watching over the younger siblings, so Luann wouldn't get her ass chewed by her for barging into Lori and Lenny's bedroom. "Hey, Luann, what's up?" Lenny asked as she saw Luann and Mr. Coconuts walk in. "Hey, Lenny, me and Mr. Coconuts are bored today, so we decided to see if you'll join us for some fun," Luann answered. "Sure, on what?" Lenny asked. "Well, how about you come with me and do some ding-dong ditching at a few houses?" Luann suggested. "What's ding-dong ditching?" Lenny asked. "It's pretty much you knock on someone's door and they run off before they see you. You've done it many times I've done it many times before. I'm a sneaky prankster for nothing," Luann replied. "Yeah, ding-dong ditching is a great idea. I know a few people who we could do that to," Mr. Coconuts added. "Is that a good idea, Luann? What if we get in trouble? I don't want to get stuck cleaning the bathroom toilet for a week, like the time I took the blame when we all looked at that porn on the desktop PC in the living room," Lenny said, unsure if Luann's plan was a good idea or not. "We won't get in trouble, Lenny. I do ding-dong ditching all the time, and I always get away with it," Luann reassured Lenny. "Hey, Luann, in fact, I love ding-dong ditching," Mr. Coconuts remarked. "All right, but what do we have to do?" Lenny asked. "You'll watch me as I do it, Lenny. Come with us," Luann said, as she and Lenny with Mr. Coconuts left the house. Meanwhile, outside of the Clyde McBride's house, Luann, along with Lenny and Mr. Coconuts, were hiding behind a large tree in the McBride's yard. "Watch this, Lenny. We ring the doorbell and run away, as that's what we do in Ding Dong Ditch," Luann stated. As she and Lenny walked up towards the McBride house, that was when Luann rang the doorbell. As soon as the doorbell rang, she ran off to hide while Lenny stood there. The door opened and Clyde was the one that answered the door. "Hi, Clyde," Lenny said cheerfully as Luann face-palmed. "Hey, I guess you're one of Lincoln's sisters?" Clyde asked Lenny. "Yeah, in fact I am," Lenny replied, as Luann ran up towards her, pushing Lenny away as they were leaving. "Hey, Clyde, sorry about that. We had the wrong house," Luann said to Clyde as the two sisters headed off. It was awkward for Clyde to see the girls' failed attempt at Ding Dong Ditch at his house. But after seeing Lenny and Luann walking away, Clyde shrugged and shut the door. Once Luann and Lenny got far away from Clyde's house, Luann looked at Lenny with a stern look. "Lenny, you're supposed to ring the doorbell and run away before the people open the door and see you," Luann scolded. "So that's what I'm supposed to do?" Lenny replied, to which Luann nodded. "The next house, Lenny, you ring the doorbell and then run off before you're spotted," Luann stated, as she and Lenny headed for the next house. The house happened to be Kim Possible's house. "Why are we at Kim Possible's house?" Lenny questioned. "Just to do Ding Dong Ditch her house. It'll be funny," Luann said, as she and Lenny approached the front door of Kim's house. "So I ring the doorbell and then we hide?" Lenny questioned. "That's right. Now ring the doorbell," Luann said. As Lenny rang the doorbell to Kim's house, after she did that, she and Luann ran off to hide. As the two were hiding in some bushes not far from Kim's house, Kim Possible opened the front door, but when she opened the front door, she saw that no one was at the door. "Who rang that bell?" Kim asked, as she looked around, expecting someone to be there. "Ding Dong Ditchers, why am I not surprised?" Kim then shut the door behind her, to which Luann and Lenny both started laughing at what they did Ding Dong Ditch Kim Possible's house. "That was a good one," Lenny exclaimed while laughing. "We sure fooled her." Kim was like, "There's no one here." "Here, you did great at this," Luann replied while chuckling. "We should Ding Dong Ditch Zach the Zeltics guy next. I bet he's taking a dump while we Ding Dong Ditch him," Mr. Coconuts mimed. "Great idea! Let's go to his house," Luann said, as she and Mr. Coconuts and Lenny both headed for Zach's house, to which it was just down the street. At Zach the Zeltics guy's house, Luann, along with Lenny and Mr. Coconuts, were not far from the driveway of the house. They were going to prank him, so Luann and Lenny went up to the house and rang the doorbell. After they did that, they both ran to hide from behind a tree. "I wonder what Zach's gonna say," Lenny said, stifling from the laughing. "He's probably gonna be pissed, but his reaction is priceless," Luann added. After a few minutes went by, Zach nor Steve were answering the door. The girls were confused if they were home or not, but when they saw Zach open the door, he looked around but couldn't see anyone. "Probably teenagers doing some ding-dong ditching. Why am I not surprised?" Zach sighed as he closed the door. "We sure got him good, Lenny," Luann chuckled at this. He was like, "There's no one here," Lenny said. "Yep, and let's do it to Shigo next. We'll sure get her good," Luann said, as she and Lenny were walking down the street to go to Dr. Draken's lair. Once they got to Dr. Draken's lair, they reached the front doors of his place. Luann rang the doorbell and the girls ran to hide when the door opened and it was Shigo. "Who's here?" Shigo asked. Luann and Lenny were giggling as they could tell that Shigo was pranked by them. "I said, who's there?" Shigo asked again, but this time she sounded annoyed. "She sounds angry," Lenny whispered to Luann. "Yep, and watch and learn," Luann whispered back, as she threw a banana peel about a couple of feet away from where Shigo was standing. "That will be me," Mr. Coconut said, as he along with Luann and Lenny came out of hiding. "You guys, I knew it was you, Luann Loud, the queen of pranks," Shigo growled. "Why be such a party pooper, Shigo? Pranks is what I do best," Luann replied as she threw some soda all over Shigo's dress, getting the soda all over it when it splashed on her. "Hey, you're gonna pay for my dress," Shigo growled as her fist started to glow green with rage. "Will that be cash, or should I go and spank the monkey?" Mr. Coconuts asked as this had ranged Shigo. "Get your ass over here, you big dummy, and I'll spank your monkey!" Shigo roared as she rushed forward towards Lenny and Luann. But as Shigo was rushing forward, she slipped on the banana peel, which caused her to slip and fall. As soon as Shigo was on the ground, Luann and Lenny both ran off with Mr. Coconuts as they ran away out of sight. When Luann along with Lenny got home, they were out of breath since they did a lot of ding-dong ditching. They relaxed in front of the TV while drinking soda to rehydrate themselves. When Shigo phoned Mr. and Mrs. Loud about the ding-dong ditch prank Lenny and Luann did, both Lynn Sr. and Rita weren't too happy with Lenny and Luann for ding-dong ditching Shigo. But it turned out that a few other people that they ding-dong ditched told Rita and Lynn Sr. as well. As a result of this, Rita and Lynn Sr. had grounded them for a week and made them both clean the bathroom's toilet for a week. Luann and Lenny had learned their lesson about ding-dong ditching people, and they had vowed never to do anything like that again, especially the Shigo as she hates those pranks. After their grounding was over, they only did pranks that were funny, and not to do anything like ding-dong ditch ever again.